Hello, Olu again, nuggets of wisdom coming at you again to drop some gems with you today. My topic today is strive for the exception and not the rule. Strive for the exception and not the rule. Let's talk about it. Welcome back. While at it, please like, share, hit the notification bell for new content. When you look at life and a lot of things that has been happening, I'm coming to understand, I'm coming to myself that 95% of life is how you respond to it. 95 approaches to life is what you do with the information that was dealt with you, with the cards that were dealt with you. 98% of things in life is how you respond, how you move, what steps you're going to take, how you're going to take it, how you're going to respond, and how you just live life on a daily basis. And it's a delicate walk. It's not something that you wake up tomorrow morning, there's no manual, or you have to understand everything. Sometimes we really don't understand this. And that's why sometimes you get all these quotes or these expressions, and it's become part of what we say and how we say it. So like a statement like say, it is an exception, not the rule. Simply means that, yes, the rule says that everybody that does this is going to be the outcome. But in some cases, there's an exception. So what am I getting at today? I want you to strive for the exception and not the rule. Let's break it down. It said, I'm going to go a little politics, right? And please, it doesn't matter what part of the aisle you are, Republican, Democrat, but I'm a political junkie, but it's going to say, the nuances of what goes on in politics that any party that wins the presidency lose seats in Congress. So if you win the presidency, it's like, for example, the Democrat, so that the rule here is that Democrat will lose both houses. I'm not saying that's the case, but that's been the rule. But there have been some cases where there have been exceptions. I think it was 2010 when George W. Bush actually maintained the House, regardless of what that rule was. Relationships. Anybody, there's always a rule that second marriages are horrible. That's the rule. There can be an exception whereby that doesn't happen to you. So, but the point is that what I found out most of the time is that the rule is always, history has a crazy way of repeating itself. And regardless of how you think you know what you're doing, because we always thought, I've learned my lesson. That will never happen to me again. That will never occur in my life. It's fallacy. And we have a sense of arrogance that, I've been through the fire, I should be able to handle this. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know, because the next exam sometimes does not even give you the same questions. Don't give you the same approaches. Don't give you, some of these are very subtle. So you don't know what you don't know. You may either think it's going to come in this way, it may come in a different way, totally together. So for example, if you're dating an abusive person, and that person used to be physically abusive, the next one may not physically abuse you, and actually but plays a mental game to abuse you, and you cannot differentiate because you're only looking at one line of action. We have to be very careful, and we have to strive for the exception and not the rule. We have to be very careful how we think that we get it. No, you don't. No, you don't understand. this story. No, you don't get it. You're not Superman. You may need to go and repeat this class over again. You may need to go and become a deep dive understanding of what things happen, how life happens. It's like me going to a new job and I assume, yeah, I know everything that I know from my job, but I don't know the people I'm going to go meet. I'm in IT, I move, do contracts and everything. When I go to a different organization, there's a different approach. So for me to assume that because I have my experience, that I know where I'm going to, no, I may not. Yes, I know my technical way around the computer, what I need to do, but I don't know their culture. So we need to understand this all the time. Strive for the exception, not the rule. Do not expect, when I mean strive for exception, even if you strive for it, it's still not guaranteed that you will not go with the rule. That means if there is a particular statistics that has gone down about bad relationships, about black men, black women, sometimes the rule always actually win out. But there's some minute times whereby there can be an exception. But you have to sit down and think about it step by step, level by level, and understand that I do not want to follow the rule. I want to be that exception. I know I'm going on. Most of the time, we repeat the same mistakes over and over again because that's where we are comfortable. It's just something like what guys do. Women do it too. I have a type. Oh, she has to be 5'6". She's got to have a banging body. She has to have the particular way she looks. So even if you think you now see somebody that is different from that person, you cannot change your mindset because your mindset is set on those things that you've been doing before. So you're just changing bodies, but you're actually dating the same person. Because you have a type. And no disrespect, how's that type working? Because what you want to do is recreate the nonsense and the fluff in your mind, and you want to make it real. And that's not how life is. It doesn't work that way. So that's why you're going to continue getting the rule and never get the exception. So we have to be very careful with this. So the question now, how do I don't keep on making the mistake and getting the rule? How do I want to get to the point whereby history is not repeating itself over and over again? I'm going to give you 3 points very quickly. We cannot go into this life with arrogance. So my number one quote is you have to be humble enough to know that you know what you don't know. You don't know it. I don't know this person. I don't know this job. I don't understand this person. I need to sit my behind down, have some respect, and actually learn. And look at every fine comb if you have to. Number 2, do not ignore obvious red flags. In the area of, if somebody has a way of, if somebody is in the area of relationship, if somebody is being abusive, and you see that same sign, maybe it's not as aggressive as the other person, but you can feel in your gut that this person is abusive or disrespectful, or the way you're going, or something within you, you have your intuition that tells you, don't do it, do not ignore it. My last point is this. My last point is, course correct where required. Course correct where required. Do your level best to know, okay, it seems I'm going back into my bad habits. It seems I'm hanging around the wrong people. It seems I'm keeping the wrong company. It is time to course correct. It still does not mean you will not go for the rule, but your chances of going for the exception will be higher than you just opening your, going into a situation with like a deer in the headlights. That's what they normally say. So these are my 3 points tonight. Strive for the exception, not the rule. Number 1, be humble and know what you don't know. Number 2, do not ignore the red flags. And number 3, course correct if necessary. I can go on this audio again. Nuggets of wisdom. I'm out.